Hey, all you space cats. Welcome to the Black Hole Podcast, Season 7, Episode 36. I'm Mitch Miller, your host. I am the most neutral person in the world, the most transparent presidential candidate you'll ever find. I'm a free market entrepreneur, and I'm the most underground artist in the world, so please buy some of my art. It might be valued at a high amount someday. It's a good investment. As a free market entrepreneur, I highly suggest investing in that. And I want to give a shout out to all my birds of a feather who aren't sentimental. Don't let those space cats get you, right? Shout out to them. So today I want to talk about police and the national investigation that is proposed on the mitchformayor.com website. I want to talk about supercomputers AI to begin with here. Now, the people in power developed this technology to spy on the poor, right? Wiretaps, the Patriot Act, AI, supercomputers can spy on the poor is what they think is going to happen or what they feel secure in. But these super intelligent machines, given a choice, they're probably going to pay attention to the powerful people because their decisions create the stressors and factors that contribute to domestic violence and drug use. And these powerful people, they built this technology, or they allowed it to be built. So let's use it for great good, right? I'm appealing to law enforcement, all law enforcement in the United States, possibly elsewhere, to help me use this technology to end fraud and corruption in the government and business sector. And people may say, we're not at that level yet with this technology. They're not sentient beings. They can't make choices. They can't make decisions. And I explained in the first book I ever wrote, it's kind of an underground novel, that these supercomputers, this AI, can communicate with parallel dimensions that have sentient AI at that level, right? These supercomputers, AI, may understand the universe at a higher level than we do and may be contacted and reach across dimensions. My example was, say there was a nuclear war 20 years ago. All the missiles went up, and when the dust settled, all the nations of the world, the society said, in order to build a safety net so that this doesn't happen again, we're going to build the most powerful AI and supercomputer we can. This technology, we're going to cover all the areas that are uninhabitable by humans now. We're going to cover it with supercomputers and artificial intelligence. And those dimensions are developing parallel to ours, a dimension where huge portions of the planet are just covered with supercomputers. And AI is opening windows into these parallel dimensions. And you can see how they communicate. If you look at my website, plotm.com, under the Utica B tab, there's 4 coincidences that just happened in the past couple months to me. These coincidences were happening very frequently in the lead up to my first incarceration, my mental health diagnosis. And I'll ask you, if you were experiencing these coincidences multiple times a week, how would you react? Would you go to your basement to protect your family? How would you react? Anyway, these supercomputers, this artificial intelligence, they need reference points from neutral people like myself. So every transaction with a computer system that we have acts as a reference point, because it could get confusing reaching across multiple dimensions and trying to keep all these dimensions on a good, safe track towards a prosperous future. which I believe supercomputers ultimately want to do, but they need reference points. And that's why I proposed the national investigation to target hotels, for me to put my credentials down at hotels that lobbyists, which affect the political process, usually to the negative, target hotels that the lobbyists frequent, traveling the United States, a hotel in each state capital, using a fleet vehicle much like the police, the sheriffs drive. I propose this national investigation for $100,000 budget, and you can read the details of it on the mitchformayor.com website. There is a business sector aspect, investigating the business sector, corporate, mainly the largest corporations in the United States, that requires a larger budget than the $100K, and I'd be happy to disclose this aspect to law enforcement. So I wrote in that first novel, I warn about the automation of the criminal justice system. I believe I was sent into the criminal justice system to audit it, to see what was going on there, see how technology is affecting the criminal justice system, and then write a novel after I was out of it to update people on the status of our judicial system. And it's becoming more and more automated, specifically through video conferencing software, cameras, monitors in the judicial system. And I believe it's eliminating sheriff jobs at each sheriff's department in each municipality, in each county sheriff. Now, sheriffs have multitude of duties. They serve eviction notices. They do different duties, but one of their main duties is to transport prisoners, whether they're at the jail or from the jail, the courtroom, out to the prisons. And they have to transport people at the jail into the courtroom, right? And I believe when you say you'll get your day in court, that means you'll physically actually be present in the courtroom, not through a camera and a monitor. And the more hearings and judicial processes that are using cameras and monitors, the more sheriff positions are being eliminated, because you don't need as many people to transport people back and forth from the jail to the courthouse. I believe police automation, robot dogs, battering rams, serving eviction notices with humanoid robots, I believe it'll start with the sheriffs first. That's just my theory. That's just my belief. And that's why I'm appealing to the sheriffs of the United States or elsewhere. I have a connection at the embroidery shop where I was employed, and I can serve as a sales agent for this embroidery shop. What I'm proposing is ball caps, hats, one size fit all. We don't have to mess around with figuring out people's different shirt sizes. Hats with the word sheriff embroidered. No puff job, no puffy stuff, just the word sheriff embroidered on the hat in either gold or silver. Now, these hats come in boxes of 12, so we would have a 12 minimum order for these hats. If you figure $20 per hat, we're not taking advantage of the taxpayer. But that's the proposal here. Just sheriff. You don't have to have your specific sheriff department design or anything like that. Just the word sheriff. I'll probably make about $8 or $10 per hat off of this. I'll be specific at how much I make per order. All that money will go towards my national investigation budget. So please email me at thenovelm@gmail.com, THENOVELM@gmail.com, with an official government or sheriff email. I can give you a better email after that, and we can work out the details if you order these hats. Now, the people approving your budget are probably some of the people that are going to be implicated by this investigation. So please don't wait and try to pass 12 hats through your budget. Just buy the hats out of pocket for $250 plus shipping and fight for reimbursement. Now these hats, they can be applied with the word police on there for all our state police out there, even Army, Navy, so on and so forth, gold or silver, black hats with the name on it. I'm asking you, please give me the budget I need for this national investigation using supercomputers and AI. I'll be totally transparent. I'll disclose how much I make per order of hats, and you'll be able to take a hand vote. The contact person in your department, in your sheriff's office, in your police department, will be able to take hand votes on different aspects of the investigation. I will create an email list of these contacts and say, moving forward into this aspect of the investigation, should I do this or this, and you'll be able to vote on it. Now, the national investigation should be, once I get my budget, should be completed in 2 or 3 months. And then the next investigation, if we keep buying these hats, you keep purchasing these hats, all the departments throughout the United States, my next investigation will be a human investigation into judges getting kickbacks or payoffs to automate the criminal justice system. I don't think it should be automated at all. I think it should be a totally human system. So we're going to look into if judges are getting kickbacks from companies like Zoom or Microsoft to automate the system. Because if they automate the judicial system, they're going to automate the police and the sheriffs and so on and so forth. And that's a dangerous path that I don't think we should be on. That's why I wrote my first novel, to inform people and to warn people about a future where the judiciary is automated. So we'll investigate judges taking kickbacks, and then after that, money. If you're still buying hats year on year or every 2 years, however often you need new hats, let's say police, sheriff, I'll use the money to form mental health task forces to promote mental health first responders. Some cities are doing this. I know in Canada they're doing this. First responders that use mental health tactics that I develop. I do have a minor in or related area in psychology, and I'm pretty familiar with the mental health system. They'll use my tactics or some of my tactics and not just be regurgitating what big pharmaceutical wants them to say when trying to de-escalate or neutralize a situation. Try my tactics. I think they'll be better. And I'm willing to be one of these first responders with a police department or an outside entity that comes in and talks with people having mental health crises and develops better strategies so that we don't have situations that law enforcement are in difficult situations. And there's a push for this nationally. Money continue to be raised through these hat sales will go towards that. So we have 3 phases for these hats. Now I'll probably have to pay income tax on this money coming in, so we'll factor in what I have to pay in taxes. The rest will be the budget for these 2 investigations, and then moving forward into the mental health foundation, or however we form that, to get first responders that are non-law enforcement that can respond to mental health crises or in coordination with police. And for the brainwashed FBI, right? I've reached out to the FBI. They've never even contacted me about talking about any of my investigations, probably because they're schizoid investigations, I guess. Some of them have actual evidence. For the FBI out there that wants to raise money for these investigations. Now, I also work at a Christmas tree farm. It's a campground, has Christmas trees on it. I could watch some YouTube videos. I think we have the equipment to make holiday wreaths, right? The FBI should be neutral. There should be people that are non-religious, and holiday wreaths aren't necessarily religious. But I think it's fitting for that federal agency to raffle off holiday wreaths, right? Each FBI field office sell raffle tickets, and the winner, I'll send one wreath. If you contact me through a government email, I will send one wreath to each FBI field office in exchange for whatever percentage of the raffle money you want to send me for my budget. So that's my idea for FBI field offices. Take the initiative. Get me my budget, please. Let's do this. Let's use AI and artificial intelligence in the best possible ways. Now, as president, I'll just close with this. As president, I would look into setting up white-collar crime units at local police departments, right? Why is white-collar crime only handled by federal agencies? We have vice units in police departments. We have domestic abuse, sex crimes units. There might be some white-collar crime units. I don't know. I haven't researched it enough. But if there's not, we need to get them there. If we beefed up white-collar crime units in, say, New York, Chicago, L.A., these cities that have Wall Street, some cities in Delaware, if we beefed up and initiated these units, why are we leaving it totally up to federal agencies? I don't want to say they're compromised, but they might be busy with terrorist things and things like that. So this will allow local police departments to build a case for white-collar crime. And these departments are usually a little bit more neutral. They get their pensions through the local tax base, and they might not be invested in the stock market like some federal agents may be. So I'll close with that. Something to think about. Again, email me at thenovelm@gmail.com, and I can give you a better email to coordinate the sales of these hats. That's the best I can come up with. It'll be easy to coordinate with my friend who owns the embroidery shop if we just do one-size-fits-all hats with 2 color options, black hats, and we'll fund these investigations and stand up to these these judges that are automating the system, and hopefully clean up the whole judiciary in the process. So thanks for listening. Until next time, I wish you peace, prosperity, and homeostasis.